Jesus interview on the lawn.
What?
Talking to myself.
Will you clap? One more time. I dig it. I dig it, baby. I think I need to right back here to get this eye line right here. Does that look good to you? Is that what you're able to look at?
Yeah, I'll try that. Maybe over here. How's this? Is this okay?
Yeah, you can go so close, dude.
Really?
Yeah. The frame is basically ending at his shoulder.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Tell me your name again?
Take another foot closer, bro. I'm serious.
Okay, I can work with this. This is fine.
Ready, guys?
Yep.
And rolling. Sound.
Sound.
Action. Great. So we always start out with who you are and what do you do?
Well, obviously I am Super Jesus.
Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, redo it.
Yeah,
Let's just redo it. Ready?
buses are a problem.
Yeah. Ready? Go ahead, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, I am Super Jesus, but I'm also known as Marty Gordon, and I'm a local Seattle artist. I do collage work, and my tagline is, "What would Jesus glue?" Most of my work is based on religious issues, questions about faith, life, just, you know, any of the questions I have about life, faith, religion, God, Jesus, the devil, whatever. I just kind of take those questions and I pour them into my art. And I came up with that tagline, "What would Jesus glue?" kind of just, you know, as something funny, because I put a lot of humor into my work. I want people to get the message of what I'm doing, but I put humor in there so that they can receive the message a little bit better. And so I've been doing that for about 6 years, and I show all around Seattle, and tonight I'm showing at Tasty. And
Tell me a little bit about that event, that tasting that we're at right now.
tonight Tasty is doing a show called Heroes, Villains, and Vixens, and it is a comic book themed show, and there are just so many great artists in this show. I don't know any of their names other than me, because I'm the best, obviously.
Do you know Thomas Hurley?
No, I don't. I have not met Thomas, but I did see his art, and I really like it.
Can you tell me a little bit about his art and tell me his full name, which is Thomas Hurley, in that sense?
Yes, Thomas Hurley is also showing at Tasty tonight, and his art is based on comic book panels. And it's actually very Lichtenstein-esque. If you know the work of Lichtenstein from the 60s, the pop artist, his work is very reminiscent of that. And it's very, very nice, very clean lines, very flat colors. It looks very comic book panel. It looks just like a comic book panel. So.
And the theme this month is the superheroes.
Yes, comic books,
And-
superheroes.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about your superhero persona here that we see.
Well, in my art, one of my things that I'm known for is I use comic book word balloons in my art, and I actually don't make my own. I actually pull actual word balloons from comics. So I use what I find, and I try to make them fit the situation of what I've built in my art. So one of the pieces that I did for the show is Super Jesus to the rescue. And it shows Jesus coming in. He's going to save the day. There's an asteroid coming at him, and there's a big heart on the ground, because, you know, Jesus is all about saving people's hearts. And so I decided tonight I would just put together a Super Jesus costume and wear that, so that it kind of tied in with what I do.
Now, what we're talking about in our documentaries more specifically refers to the real-life superhero movement,
Yes.
including Phoenix Jones and his cohorts, the Rain City superhero
Yes.
movement.
And I have.
Tell me about what you know about that.
Well, I've been reading what little there's been on the internet about it, and I've seen the news coverage about it. Of course, a few months ago I saw the movie Kick-Ass, thought that was just great, and then the next thing I know is that they're telling me that Seattle has its own superhero. Matter of fact, there's more than one, but Phoenix Jones is obviously the most well-known guy, and I don't really know a lot about him. I did meet him at Comic-Con briefly, and then I met him again tonight. But he's just out there trying to do good, you know, on the streets of Seattle. And, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's great. He has an awesome costume.
Yeah.
He looks great.
Yeah, it's very utilitarian. I mean, there's real
It's
gadgets and gadgets.
very functional.
Yeah.
It's built for action, definitely. So, and being a big, I grew up reading comics, and so I'm just a big geek at heart.
Read?
Oh, everything. I was more of a Marvel guy than a DC
Who's
guy.
your favorite superhero or team?
Well, as a kid, I really liked the Fantastic Four, and then of course Spider-Man. As I've gotten older, I prefer the darker characters like Wolverine and Batman. But I still love to read those old Fantastic Four comics and just any of the stuff that I used to read as a kid. They're binding them in graphic novels now, and so I buy as many of them as I can. And I can, like at Comic-Con last weekend, I loaded up on graphic novels, and I'm starting to read them now. So, oh, it's awesome. I actually prefer the stuff I read as a kid, but there is some good stuff now too.
Now, the fact that these guys, just to get back to what the Phoenix Jones superheroes in town are doing.
Yeah.
Why do you suppose to do acts of humanitarian goodness, and they also work with the homeless and do charity work, but they do street patrols?
Yeah.
Why do you think they choose to do it in superhero costume?
I'm not real sure. I would imagine that it has something to do with, of course, protecting your identity is number one. Number two, it does draw attention. You're probably going to get more attention if you're dressed in a costume like I am tonight. So I think it's there's a little bit of marketing involved in that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's
I'm
okay.
directing traffic at the same time.
I got a little sidetracked there. So.
No, it's fine. Your relationship with, how do you know Sherry from Tasty?
Well, of course, I've been aware of Tasty since it opened a year ago.
Yeah.
And they had a street fair out here last year. I can't remember which month it was, but I actually had a table out in the street and showed some of my art and actually sold some art that night. And then, I've just kept a relationship with Sherry as an artist to someone who owns a gallery. And she's always been very open to having me in a show. She just wanted to find the right theme. And so for the last several months, she's been telling me, we're going to do this comic book show in March, and I want you to be a part of that. And I'm like, I'm on board, man. Let's do it. So I've been real excited. Oh, yeah.
And then let's wrap it up with...
Sure.
We'll wrap it up with... when I'm doing an interview, I always let my subjects have a chance to utilize our camera as kind of a platform for whatever they want to say. Sometimes the heroes have a message for the public. You might want to talk a little bit about your art or a message. If you have a message for the public, whatever it is, I would like you to look right into this camera, right here, and deliver that message.
Okay. Super Jesus says, go to www.whatwouljesusglue.com and check out some fantastic art. God bless you.
One more time for safety.
Okay.
That was very good.
Thank you.
Can you step back a No, actually stay where you're at.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I like how you put the light on. Okay, right to the camera. Ready? Action.
Sorry.
It's fine. Do it when you want. You start yourself.
Super Jesus says, go to www.whatwouljesusglue.com and check out the fantastic art you'll find there. God bless you.
I think we could do one more.
You want to do one more without the jet?
Not necessarily the jet. Let's just do one more.
Just do one more for... Okay.
Okay.
One more. Ready? We're still rolling, right? Okay. Go ahead.
Anytime?
Yeah.
Yep.
Super Jesus says, go to www.whatwouljesusglue.com and check out the fantastic art you'll find there. God bless you.
Good. Thanks for your time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Here,
we're trying to help.
Can I give you a few of my cards?
Yes, yes.
Jesus interview room tone.
Here, I'll just
At the very least, for helping us out.
Whoops. Hey, I'm gonna get room tone, guys.